It's like to perform an autopsy.
Ever wanted to know how accurate your favorite crime drama is?
If you're brave enough.
Join us inside the morgue. Hey everybody! We're live!
Our first live show!
How exciting is this? This is crazy. Oh my god. I can't believe we're doing it live. I'm so excited. So, hey, welcome to Inside the Morgue Live. We are recording live here at Young Junk Studio right here in Philadelphia, PA. So we're super excited to be here live.
We're so excited. We're like ecstatic right now.
This was supposed to be a spooky Halloween episode last week, but there were a few circumstances out of our control that did not let that happen. So
we rescheduled it.
In true spooky girl fashion, we're extending Halloween. So here we are.
Greatest time of the year.
Greatest time of the year. Greatest time of all time. And we thought it would be fun to talk through our favorite cinematic deaths, some of our favorite cinematic deaths.
Our top three right now.
Top three right now, and kind of get into their cause and manner and just discuss back and forth, get some opinions on that, because some of mine are, I don't know. It's one of the things that we've talked about where it's like somebody else with the same amount of experience could interpret it differently.
Something totally different.
So
yeah.
I want to know. And if you guys are out there, pipe up in the chat and tell us about your favorite cinematic deaths, what you think the cause and manner are, if you think we're right or wrong, or if you have a different opinion. We'd love to hear it. So, yeah. Do you want to start?
I'll start.
Favorite
okay.
cinematic death?
So, I have it on a notes thing in my phone. So, I went through like a whole list. It was like 150 of like the most iconic cinematic deaths. And of course, I've never seen half of those movies. And I was like, I don't even know who this person is. I don't know who this character is. And then I realized one of the things on the list, I was like, oh my God, I love those movies. Love Kill Bill. It's one of my favorites.
Oh my God, me too.
My number one, or my first cinematic death is Bill in Kill Bill Volume 2. When the bride uses the 5-point palm exploding heart technique. So after she strikes him with the technique, they have a conversation. And then Bill stands up, he takes 5 steps, and then his heart explodes and he dies. So I think cause of death would be blunt impact injury to the heart. And manner would be homicide.
Yes, manner is homicide because it's death at the hands of another. Do we know for a fact his heart explodes? Do they say that explicitly?
Yeah.
Or does it? Okay. So then, yeah, blunt impact injury. Because I wasn't sure if it exploded or if it caused like an arrhythmia or like oh my God, there's a word for it and I'm forgetting it. It happens sometimes when people get struck in the chest in like sports and their heart just stops.
Cortico. Not cortico.
Someone out there has to know. Please tell us. Yeah, so I was sure with that. But yeah, if his heart explodes, it would be blunt impact injuries. Do you think there would be any kind of external, there's got to be bruise. Do you think there'd be external bruising, or do you think it's so quick there would be no bruising or hematoma?
It would be so quick that you wouldn't even develop a bruise.
Yeah. His heart just explodes and he bleeds out and he gets like hemothorax in his chest cavity maybe.
Yeah.
Or cardiac tamponade.
I have to look this up now because the
pericardial sac will just fill with blood. Or if the pericardial sac, which is the sac that surrounds your heart, also explodes, it can maybe fill your pleural cavity too, which is where your lungs are, which is also not good, in case you didn't know. That is such a good one.
I thought that was really fun.
That is a really, really good one.
I literally can't remember what we're thinking of.
Yeah. It's
just my God. Commotio cordis.
Commotio cordis. That's what I was thinking it was. That's what I like thought it was. But yeah, they say his heart just explodes. Mm-hmm. Crazy. But not enough.
Starting off strong.
Starting off strong. Oh, I like that one a lot. Okay, mine.
Yours.
Mine is also a homicide. From my favorite movie, Scream. I got my clip.
I had no idea that's your favorite movie.
It's my whole personality. But it isn't. So I always say my favorite death in that movie is the opening sequence with Casey Becker, obviously played by Drew Barrymore.
Iconic death.
Iconic. However, I thought cause and manner were kind of, well, she does get stabbed a lot and then disemboweled. It's very spoiler alert for a movie that came out almost 30 years ago. But the death that I wanted to talk about was Tatum Tatum Riley, played by Rose McGowan, when she is getting attacked in the garage while getting beers. And she tries to escape through the cat door in the garage. And then he opens the garage door and she gets caught in there and stuck. So what I wanted to discuss with you, do you think, so obviously homicide, death at the hands of another. Not, unless somebody could construe it to be an accident, but no, that was full-on homicide. But do you think that was positional asphyxia, or do you think she broke her neck? And spinal cord.
Ooh. I feel like
I wish I had a picture of it up.
You
but
could really go either way with that.
Right. Obviously, an autopsy would be done because it's a homicide. And it's insane circumstances. So obviously, like you would do a layered neck dissection. You would maybe see hemorrhaging in the neck if it was some kind of like manual asphyxiation. A posterior neck for sure, to look at all the hemorrhaging in the muscle, to check out what damage was done.
I feel like it would be a broken neck.
And then you take out the neck block and you could see if there is a broken neck, and then you could even go further and see if there was damage to the spinal cord. You could see which cervical vertebrae is broken. But yeah, I've always wondered that. And that's weird because I've seen that movie when I was really young. Yeah. I'm like, did she die because she positional asphyxia and she got knocked out and couldn't breathe in that position? But she does kind of immediately go immobile.
I think then definitely.
There is a lot of sparks flying though, so we can bring electrocution into this.
It could be electrocution, broken neck plus electrocution.
I just would not want this to be my case because it would be so.
It's a nightmare of an autopsy.
Damn it, this is terrible. Obviously, it's an awful thing that happened, but having to go between all these different possibilities. But I think ultimately the autopsy would tell.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be like a negative autopsy. There would be full-on signs, one way or the other, of different.
There would be so many findings.
Yeah, so many findings.
And it would be hard, I think, for the pathologist then to pinpoint what happened or what exactly caused it if there's just so many things going on.
Yeah. And so I think I would rule that after doing an autopsy. I would rule it homicide. I believe cause of death would be broken neck.
Yeah.
Maybe part 2, something.
Positional asphyxia.
Yeah. It's really not like a part 2 though. Like a contributory cause, I guess. Maybe.
Me too.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. That would be my death certificate for Tatum Riley.
Broken neck.
Broken neck.
All right. I agree. Okay. My next one is also one that you're going to love.
Okay.
So you know how I wasn't that into horror movies until more recently, within the past year, and I watched this one and I fell in love with it. And it's Nightmare on Elm Street.
I'm so happy. I almost did one from Nightmare on Elm Street, but I was like, I bet you Jess is going to do one.
And it's Glenn.
I almost did Glenn. Okay, let's talk about Glenn, because I did not know what to do for Glenn.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, his first movie.
First movie, and he's so hot. I love him.
Yep.
So, Glenn.
Another Wes Craven. Sorry.
Yes.
Scream is also Wes Craven.
Again, we just we're a stan for Wes Craven. So, Glenn is a naive and sweet kid, and he seems to really love his girlfriend, Nancy, who appears a little crazy due to her desperation to survive from her crazed killer that appears in her dreams. So, Nancy warns him not to go to sleep, telling him that Freddy Krueger will come after him. And unfortunately, he does fall asleep. So he is then suddenly sucked into his bed, into this large hole opening beneath him.
It's iconic.
And then all of this blood coming everywhere. And you were explaining to me when I first watched this, and I told you how they did it with the special effects.
It's insane.
And it's so crazy.
They had to literally move the room manually. They built a room that could spin. There were people pushing the room so that it could look.
And they just had buckets and buckets of paint.
Yeah, they had the bed on the ceiling and pouring the blood in. And speaking of electrocution, somebody did get electrocuted during that scene because the fake blood hit the light.
Oh my god!
They didn't die, but there was an injury from that practical effect. Anyway.
So I think, obviously, homicide. He was killed. But I think
is death at the knife hands of another. But he's a ghost though.
But he's a ghost.
But yeah, it's still homicide.
Still homicide, I think. But I think I would say cause of death was exsanguination.
I would say that as well. But the other crazy thing is you never see his body.
You don't. There's just no
His
body.
body's
It's just
never recovered.
buckets and buckets of blood.
And I almost brought up this one because there are a few cases where people have been convicted of murders when there were no bodies.
I would send Freddy Krueger straight to jail.
Yeah. It's very rare, but it can happen if there's like some DNA evidence found. And there's a lot of DNA evidence found for this one.
Yeah.
Oh my God. My one gripe with that scene is, so Nancy's father is a police officer and he arrives at the scene and he asks, he's like, where's the coroner? And the other cop's like, he's been in the John throwing up since he walked in.
I remember that.
That is never the case, at least in my experience.
It's always...
It's usually...
It's always the reverse. The cops are always the one that can't
From my
it.
experience. And so, not always. I don't want to get any hate, but no. I always hate that when they're like, it's so bad, the coroner's throwing up. I'm like,
So
we're usually the ones who are like less phased than most people.
So when I was on swings, probably like a few months ago, me and one of our part-timers were working, and I got called out, and they're like, oh, he's decomp, like, we need you to come out, and like decomps are something that we always go to. So her and I went, I was the lead on it, and I go in, like, there were flies, and like he was an alcoholic, and he was like not that bad, but he was decomped, and like it smelled. And like the whole fire department was there, like officers were there, and they all had like, the fire department literally had like their respirators and like masks and everything on. And one of the officers asked me for a mask to borrow, and they're like, I don't know how you're breathing this. This is awful. And I was like, it's not even that bad.
I think
What
part
do
of
you
us is
mean?
broken.
I
think part of us
my
is broken.
sense of smell is gone.
I think sometimes, and I've talked about this, sometimes I get self-conscious that like my sense of smell is so messed up. I'm like, do I smell and I can't tell? Like, please tell me if I did. But yeah, that's a good one.
So it's always the reverse.
Yeah.
We are way tougher than people think.
Watch, now I'm going to get called to a scene where I just like absolutely lose it. I can't. I'm going to get called
If
to a
I have
scene.
another bathtub case.
I'm going to get called to a scene where blood was shot out of a bed and I'm going to throw up all night in the toilet. Let's find out. Oh yeah, the bathtub guy was, yeah.
We're not going to talk about it. Moving, what's your second?
All right, I think I'm going to do, okay, I'm trying to decide which one I want to do next. The next one I want to do is from Final Destination 3.
Okay.
Which is one of the more ridiculous ones. Have you seen this one?
I have. I've seen all of them. Except for Bloodlines. I haven't watched that yet, but I have
Oh, it's
seen
so
all the
good.
originals.
Okay, the tanning beds.
The tanning bed.
Also, so as a coroner or a death investigator or even a medical examiner in this instance, there's no, even though it is death, the concept of death coming after them, there's no way you can actually rule this a homicide. You have to rule it an accident. An insane accident caused by the fates.
All of everything in Final Destination is an accident.
Yeah. A planned accident. Because fate and death. But did you know the original concept, it was supposed to actually be a physical serial killer, like tracking them down?
I didn't know
Because they
that.
survived the accident, but they thought it seemed like a better concept that it was like
It was
death
just
tracking.
fate.
Yeah, it was like death coming after them.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did
That
it that
makes
way.
it better.
But
Makes it a little
Yeah.
less cheesy.
so for people that don't know, there's 2 people die in tanning beds. There's 2 girls who go into their tanning beds and they get locked into the room by some crazy circumstances, and I think their Slurpees spill and cause like an electrical outlet, and they essentially get cooked in their
Which is so
tanning
wild
beds.
to think about.
So hyperthermia, cause of death?
Yeah. Burns?
Burns, like I don't know how, like, yeah, I would say
It's like you would kind of see the same thing.
this is one that would have multiple parts for sure.
You would kind of see the same thing like if it was a real fire death, even though there's no like actual fire or like soot, but like the bodies are being burned, which I think is causing, so it would be like thermal injury.
Thermal injury for sure. They're essentially being like they're being like cooked, and there's one one book that I love, Working Stiff.
Yes. That's such a good
By Judy Malinek, Dr. Judy Malinek. she talks about some of the worst cases she saw while working in New York City. And there's one that she described that stuck with me for so long, because I think it's the one she described as the worst. And it's a guy who fell through a manhole, and it was like so hot down there that she did his autopsy and saw that he essentially was just like cooked from the inside out. Mm-hmm. And that's what I pictured happening in this situation, is that they were just, their organs were cooked. Yeah.
Okay, that's
so thermal injuries, hyperthermia, like oof. Stay out of tanning beds, just because also skin cancer. But
and then I just love the shot of like the two of them in the tanning bed, and then it cuts to like the two of them.
In the casket. They're two caskets immediately. Oh my god, I know.
That was a crazy cutscene.
That was a crazy cutscene. Crazy cutscene in that one.
Ooh, that's one that's a really good death from Final Destination.
Yeah, that one starts with the that's the roller coaster. Roller coaster one. I almost did the log
Which
track.
Really, that one is like the wildest one.
Yeah, there's crazy ones in that one. The tanning bed one sticks with me. And yeah, it was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. My last one is very relevant to something coming out in like a week or so. I did The Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz.
Oh my god, I cannot wait to talk about this. Oh my god.
I was really proud of this one.
This is so good.
So she, obviously Dorothy splashes her with water, and she she's like basically like dissolves and melts away. And like Dorothy like throws the bucket of water on her to put out the fire that's on the scarecrow, and then she's vulnerable to the water and basically just again like disintegrates and melts. So I wanted to talk about this because I wrote something, and then I was like, I don't think it would actually be that, but maybe it would be like complications of extensive burn injuries. And this is obviously also an accident.
Would you say accident? Yeah, okay, you would say accident.
I think I would say accident because she didn't know, and it wasn't done on purpose. There was no intent behind it.
This is another good thing to bring up and talk about, because even if a coroner or a medical examiner rules something an accident, doesn't mean that the person responsible or like involved in the accident can't be charged by like the DA or something. Like for instance, like a car accident.
If somebody, they could charge vehicular manslaughter.
They could still be charged. It doesn't mean, like if it's ruled an accident, like the person didn't go out intending to kill somebody, but it still happened. It can be ruled an accident on our end, but charges can still be pursued. Yeah,
I just had a motor vehicle accident, and it was obviously ruled an accident. I think like just multiple blunt force injury, but like there was very clearly somebody ran into them, so the DA will press charges against that person who killed the other one.
So do you think the wizard will press charges against her?
I think the Ozians are gonna go ham and get,
as they say in Oz, go ham.
They're gonna come for her, even though they all hate the witch anyway. So they throw a party, not.
Yeah. So would it be? That's really interesting.
It would be celebrated.
It would be celebrated. No, I'm trying to think of. Okay, so cause accident, or sorry, manner accident.
A manner accident.
Cause would be
like again like thermal injury.
She just melts.
She melts. What do you say for melting? Melting?
Cause of death, melting.
Well,
interval seconds.
Due to water.
due to water.
No, maybe some more scientific. H2O.
H2O. Oh my gosh! Yeah. What would? I don't even know how to describe it.
I just thought it was fun to talk about because we love
because it does burn her and you see the smoke and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that.
I love Wicked.
Can't
wait for Wicked for Good to come out.
I almost just spoiled something from Wicked for Good, but I won't say anything.
Spoil it. It's been out for years.
No, there's some people that haven't seen the play that are the musical that. No, I'm not spoiling that. I do not. Don't you dare.
I'm all for spoils.
No, we can't. Especially on a live. We can't take it back. No. All right. So my last one is from probably one of my favorite TV shows by my favorite horror director currently, Mike Flanagan.
Yes.
And this is one of the best series I have ever seen. And even if somebody's not a fan of horror, I still recommend this show to them because it's just so good all around. It hits you in the feels. It has some moments that make you chuckle, but it's just like such a good portrayal of grief, Haunting of Hill House. And I was listening to a podcast about it recently called the Hello Sydney podcast. Very, very good podcast. And Sydney, the host, breaks down each episode, and that's what got me thinking about it. So I feel weird saying favorite death in this one. I just thought it was the most interesting to talk about. Death is Nell Crane, which happens in the
neck lady.
The bent neck lady. Spoiler. We see in episode 1.
Yeah.
Well, we see and we get a larger picture of it throughout the show.
In the finale, especially.
So, again, cause of death, broken neck.
Mm-hmm.
So probably you specifically say hanging, and then maybe if you want to get specific in the report, talk about where in the neck it was broken. But clearly, very much broken neck.
Fracture of
yeah. And that is called, I believe, because she was from so high up, a judicial hanging, which is they fall with such force it breaks their neck. And that's because when hanging people was commonplace, it would just drop like that. And depending on the height, sometimes they'd struggle more if it didn't break their neck right away, and all very grim.
You could get decapitated.
Yeah, if you from high enough. But the house made her do it, and the ghosts tricked her.
Are you charging the house?
I'm charging the house. I'm charging you.
I would say suicide.
See, but when we see her basically hallucinating in the house, she doesn't put the noose on her neck. It's her mom putting the necklace on. Or does she put it? Now I can't remember. Maybe she does put the necklace on herself, but I think she thinks it's a necklace that her mom is giving her.
It's a rope.
But it's a rope, and then suddenly she falls and bent neck lady.
Yeah, and then you see the whole cinematic.
Or accident.
Accident versus suicide.
Accident versus undetermined. We got to do
it's
now.
Undetermined?
We have to do an undetermined.
How do we get to an undetermined?
Undetermined. So, yeah. So we've talked about a bunch of times before. 5 manners of death. It's natural, suicide, homicide, accident, or undetermined. And undetermined is just when you exhaust all your other resources and you can't decide between 2 different causes and manners, whether it be suicide or homicide, or suicide and accident. In this case, I would say I would be more inclined to say suicide versus accident. Because I still want to say homicide. I still want to charge the ghosts in the house.
Suicide versus accident versus homicide.
Yeah. But yeah, you can do a sub manner and say suicide versus you're trying to determine between suicide versus accident for the undetermined. But yeah, she might have to be undetermined.
That's a really good one.
But I think going into obviously I'm talking about it as a viewer of the show, so I know about all the spooky stuff. But obviously if I'm going into this as just a death investigator.
And you're seeing it. Your immediate thought is going to be suicide.
Yeah. Especially given her history, her psych history.
Yeah.
That's things that we all look into. So yeah, I can see why, especially in the show, Steve, her brother, who's a huge skeptic of all the ghosts, and all the lore and everything about their family, is no, she was mentally ill. And this is suicide. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else about Hill House. Oh, another reason I wanted to bring this one up is because in episode 2, it's such a great portrayal, at least in my opinion. I'm also not a mortician or a funeral director, but Nell's older sister, Shirley, is a mortician and a funeral director, and against everybody's advice, decides to do her funeral arrangements and her final preparation.
Dom was just talking to me about this specifically.
And this scene where she's on the phone with Steve. Steve's trying to get his other brother Luke and their dad Hugh on a plane and is complaining to Shirley about it. And Shirley's literally sitting there with her sister's dead body with the chest open because she had been autopsied. And she's like, you know what I'm doing right now? I'm pulling a bag of organs out of our sister's chest cavity because that's what they do when they're autopsied. And she pulls a red bag out of their chest. And I'm like, that's like, it looked
Yeah.
solid. Like, it looked like
That's
she's not
so
wrong.
funny that you
And
bring that up.
And she's like, you just have to get 2 grown men on a plane. Figure it out. And then she hangs up on him. And I'm like, honestly, fair. And you even see there's part where she had reflected back the scalp or was like putting it back to fix her hair. And it all looked.
It was good.
So good.
Mike Flanagan's a genius.
And I watched this before I worked in death investigation. But like since working in death investigation, watching it, I was like, that looks at least what I think it would look like at that point. And a shot that makes me cry every time I watch it, and I've watched the show multiple times. I watch it at least once a year, I'd say. There's so many, speaking of good like cutaways, like the tanning beds and then the graves. She's doing Nell's makeup on her corpse, and it cuts to her doing her makeup on her wedding day. Like immediately, and I'm just
I forgot about that.
So that's episode 2, like midway through. And I remember the first time I watched this show, somebody told me about it. They're like, it's going to make you cry like later on. It gets really emotional. And I was like, okay, I'll prepare myself for later on. And immediately episode 2, I am weeping at that one cutaway scene. I had to pause it. I was like, Mike Flanagan, you didn't need to do that to me. That hurt me so bad. Oh, it's so brutal.
That's so funny that you bring like that up about her sister doing her funeral arrangements. Because Dom talked to me literally about like last week, and he was like, "Hey, my coworker wants to know if you've seen Hill House," and I was like, "Yes, obviously I've seen Hill House. This isn't something you would watch, but I watched it." And she was like, "Oh well," he's like, she wants to know like, would you be allowed to do a family member's autopsy? And I was like, well. Yes and no, because really there aren't any like laws or like anything in place saying that I can't.
Are there not?
I don't know. I don't think our office really has anything. I think it's
we
just
have the policy thing that we had to like we can't. Yeah, like if it's an immediate member of our family or like somebody like a spouse or an immediate member of our family or ourselves, like if we pass away in the county that we work in, we can't be autopsied in that county.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. That's what I was telling him. I was like, if it's like somebody that we know, like it's really based on your comfort and like if it's not.
I thought it was
if
like
it's not an immediate family member and you know this person. If you're not comfortable, like step out and just tell somebody. But like, there's nothing in place for that. But then I was like, oh, if it's like we have contracts with like other counties where they'll do the autopsy for us.
Yeah. Like if a family member or like. If I died in the county that I worked in, it would obviously be a conflict of interest for them to do my autopsy. So they would take me somewhere else. Yeah.
Like there's been like 1 or 2 people that I've known that have come through the office.
Not for me. Knock on wood. Yeah, but I wonder like funeral arrangements, it's like different because it's not, but that's so... Yeah, everybody's telling her it's a bad idea, but she just wants to be in control and she wants to do this thing for her sister. And God, I love that show so much. The 5 kids are the 5 stages of grief, and it's just so good.
I'm gonna rewatch that now.
It's so good and devastating and beautiful and everything. Oh, it's so good. Every time I rewatch it, I see something new.
Show is so good.
Yeah, all of his shows on Netflix are fantastic. I also love Bly Manor, Midnight Mass. Follow the House of Usher. I just recently rewatched Follow the House of Usher.
Midnight Club.
Midnight Club broke me. Like
I really wish that there was going to be a second season.
And that has Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street. Yep. Heather Langenkoff, I think her name is. I always get it wrong. I always get her last name wrong. I'm sorry. Clearly she's watching. Yeah, bring it full circle.
But Midnight Mass has the main guy in it. He's in the newest season of Gen V.
Oh, is he really? Oh, wow. I liked him. He was great.
I Googled him and I was like, why does he look so familiar?
He looks so familiar. He's like, oh, he's the priest. Ugh. There's so many good...
And then I'm thinking of all of the American Horror Story deaths.
I know. Now I'm thinking of all the other Mike Flanagan show deaths. I'm trying to think of my favorite. Fall of the House of Usher had probably the most insane deaths. Those are all based on Edgar Allan Poe stories.
I'm just thinking of the acid one.
Oh, that one's brutal. That's accident.
I remember.
Unless you can charge the Raven. And then it's a
watching
homicide.
I was like, I had it on my iPad and I was in the kitchen and I got to that scene and I literally stopped what I was doing and I was just staring and I was like, what am I watching?
It's insane. It's crazy. And then one of my favorites, and I did a special effects look like this, is the Rue Morgue.
Yeah.
That one is a good one. Just like, and that story actually is really, it's about a death investigator. The classic story by Edgar Allan Poe is they find a brutally murdered person who's like ripped to shreds, and they're like, oh my God, there must be a crazed killer on the loose. And they're like, this is definitely a homicide. It's a crazed killer on the loose. And then they find out it's just a chimpanzee that escaped from the zoo. Like they said, they make some kind of comment like, oh, this looks like an animal must have escaped and done this. And they're like, no, it couldn't be. It's a murder. And it's an animal escaped. An animal escaped and attacked. It was literally a chimpanzee.
Another good one from Kill Bill is when she slices the girl's head off.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, Quentin Tarantino has some brutal deaths too in all of his works. He likes the blood and gore. Oh. Inglourious Bastards has some good.
Inglourious Bastards is so good.
Inglourious Bastards has some
Bullet Train is good too.
Yeah, now we're just going to talk about our favorite movies, guys. Oh my God.
Let us know what your guys' favorite cinematic deaths were. And if you have any like differing opinions on what we said for ours, I'd love to hear them.
Yeah. Please let us know. Yeah, we want to know. And if you want to I would love to do this more.
Yeah.
Like I would love for people to email us or DM us about just like, give us your favorite cinematic death. But yeah, we would love to hear.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, hi, we're seeing the chat now.
Oh, we have a chat.
We have a chat. Hi.
Go Birds.
Bad to the Bone Paranormal, hello, and John Deere. Oh, I love that name. That's a fun name, John Deere. Oh. Wait, which was the scariest scenes of all time? John Deere, you said one of the scariest scenes of all time. I must know. Oh, hi, Vicious Marshmallow. I saw you up there, too. Oh, my God. I want to know which one was one of the scariest scenes of all time. If we find out. But, yeah, definitely let us know more cinematic deaths that you want us to kind of just analyze, cause and manner. Because I even love just going back and forth. Even if it's a supernatural one, as you can see, we love to talk about, too. So, yeah.
Supernatural. That TV show, that had a bunch of good deaths.
I never watched.
I'm surprised by that.
Everybody says that.
I'm really surprised by that.
I think I tried to get into
There's
it later.
vampires in it.
There's vampires. Of course I'd be into it. Oh my God, we should do more of this. Yes. I really enjoyed this.
We should go live more.
Mm-hmm. We should go live more. And yeah, I'd love to make this more of a live, like something we do live, talk about cause and manner of favorite movie deaths or show deaths. Or
I have so many more.
I almost brought up, or maybe I should save this for, well, actually no, because we're not going to record again before Thanksgiving.
No, we're not.
I was going to talk about
Thanksgiving.
That movie that I love, Thanksgiving.
Oh my God, with McDreamy.
With McDreamy. John Cava. His freaking Boston accent. There's some crazy deaths in that
ridiculous.
one too. Oh, the trampoline, the cheerleader on the trampoline with a knife. Oh my God. No. And then also somebody getting cooked in that one. Quite literally.
Yeah.
And all right, you know what? I am going to talk about Thanksgiving because it's November. I know I said we're extending Halloween, but we're here and we're going to talk about
all of the holidays are just morphing into one.
One thing I did note when I saw Thanksgiving, or that's a different one. That's a different weird movie. Go watch the Cult Pop episode about that. Cult Pop podcast talked about, oh my God, Thanksgiving. The one lady gets cooked.
And served.
And one thing I did note, I did go see this with JD and Noel of the Cult Pop podcast. And she does wind up in what is called pugilistic position, which happens when in fire deaths, just in a fire, muscles will contract and you'll kind of end up like this and like with your knees tucked in. It's called pugilistic pose, like a boxer's pose because you're like this, or pugilistic pose. So that was something I like when she gets served on the table. That is how her position that she's in. And I was like, I think I literally in the theater, it might have just been like, I was like, oh, it's pugilistic position. Oh my God.
The only one thinking that.
Yeah, it's correct. And I think Janie was like, you're wrong podcast. We're not talking about that on ours. That's the different, your other podcast. So now I'm talking about it on my other podcast. But yeah.
That's a good one.
That one, definitely homicide and thermal injuries, hyperthermia, being cooked in an oven. That's what I would put.
Cause of death. Cooked in oven.
Cause of death.
Interval?
Cause of death.
An hour.
Oh.
Hours.
Depends on what the temperature. All right. So, yeah. Do you have any more? Any more bonus
I don't
ones?
think I have any more off the top of my head.
Yours were really good.
Thank you.
Those are
I was
really
really
good.
proud of them. I was like, oh my gosh.
Kill Bill
I think
is a
I'm
good
so
one.
good for this.
You are so good for this. All right. Thanks for joining us. If you joined us live, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
Yeah.
This is like so exciting.
Yeah. If you're joining us later, when we post this later, when we record, send us some DMs about your favorite cinematic deaths, what you think the cause and manner are, or if you just want us to analyze the cause and manner, because I freaking love this. I love my job. I love movies, and I love horror movies, or even just funny movies where people die in weird ways. So, yeah please, I want to do
catch
this
us
more.
on Inside the Morgue on Instagram, Inside the Morgue Pod on Instagram and TikTok, over on Young Junk's YouTube page. Email us, DM us. We just want to talk. We're here.
Yeah, we're just some spooky girls who like to talk about spooky stuff. So join us.
And next time, we will be coming with an episode, and we're going to be making a cocktail and talking about a little spooky cult. So stay tuned for that, and we will see you
next time.
For the next dissection. Bye.
Bye.